My name is Ken Todd. I'm Lisa Vanderpump's husband, the person that carries Jiggy, and I give a good shout out to Weho Sports.
I'm PJ, and you're watching Weho Sports.
This is Jimmy Rollins, and you're watching Weho Sports Show. Thank you very much.
Hey, this is Kiki Hernandez, and you're watching Weho Sports Show.
I'm Justin Turner, and you're watching the Weho Sports Show.
I am watching Weho Sports.
Good evening and welcome to Weho Sports. My name is Raul Alonso and I'm your host. Today we have a very special show for you. We're going to interview one of our recurring guests. This is her third time in the show. Her name is Kathy Gruver. Hello, señorita. How are you?
I'm fabulous. Thank you so much for having me back.
Oh, great to have you back. It's fantastic every time you show up.
Good.
You show up now with another book.
Another book?
Time, A Journey of Healing, One Woman Path to Heal Self-Others. It is a fantastic book. You guys should go get it and read about it, because it will change literally your life, or it will make you think a lot of what you're doing and how your life is going down the hill, so you can get it up the hill. So, but let me tell you a little bit about her. She's a multiple award winner, author, and international motivation, health speaker, and wellness expert. She lives in Santa Barbara. She's married to Michael Servin. She's from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and she has this new book, Journey of Healing. So, tell us a little bit how you came to write this book, because this book is more personal than the other ones you have wrote.
Yeah, you know, I do so much motivational speaking and so much one-on-one and so many radio shows and TV shows, and I tell a lot of personal stories during those interviews that lead to some sort of lesson. And I found that as I was telling these stories, people were interested in hearing them, and I was getting more compliments about those personal tales of whether it was success or struggle or challenge or illness or, you know, all these things I mentioned in the book. People were really fascinated by those stories, and I thought, okay, now is the time to tell those. So I thought, let's write a book that is not only a textbook, so people can learn about all these multiple modalities, but also tells a little bit about my personal story. So I wrote this to help people find healing, whether they want to be a healer and they want to learn about these modalities to go do them with other people, or whether they just want to heal themselves and their family. So I put it together sort of as an autobiography textbook, if you will, to let people have a little hint into how I've overcome things and how I've learned what I do.
I mean, it's fantastic. I'm telling you, because we were talking earlier and I told you of all these things that now my brain is going through like a globe, just trying to put pieces together. But, you know, it's also so special because you dedicated to some of your friends that have passed away and your mom that passed from cancer, and also your dad. So tell us a little bit.
Yeah.
How did you came up to it?
Yeah, my journey began, and I have to pin it to this. My mom died when I was 18. She had a very rare cancer on her spine, and everybody thought I had this picture-perfect, you know, only child, perfect childhood, and then my mom got sick when I was about 13. So from 13 to 18, I didn't really have a mom. I mean, she missed my plays, she missed my dance recitals, she missed a lot of things with school because she was sick and in so much pain. And because I was an only child, I pretty much had to jump in and take care of myself. And that, you know, you can't go through that without having that affect you. And also watching my dad be such a great caregiver. You know, he was practically a nurse by the end. He was changing IVs and taking care of her bathroom habits and, you know, all this stuff. It was really phenomenal to watch him do that. So a lot of people like to say, oh, well, clearly this is why you do healing. It was because of your mom. And it was to a certain extent, but it was a combination of all of it. You know, she didn't have any choices. In Pittsburgh in the 80s with cancer, your choices were chemo, surgery, radiation. That was it. And when I would suggest, even as a kid, things like, well, hey, isn't there this thing called acupuncture? Or, hey, maybe she could meditate. You know, the doctors looked at me like I was nuts. One, I was just a kid, so what were they going to listen to me for? But that wasn't really an option for her. So now, as a health practitioner, I look to my clients and I say, you have options. You have choices. So let's explore those. And there's an endless supply of options. If A doesn't work, let's try B, C, D, E. There's endless letters in the alphabet of things that you can try for your health. And so that's really what the book's about, is about choices and letting people know that they can make different choices, and with every breath we have the ability to make a change.
That's correct, because one of your phrases is take risks, make choices, and create changes.
Yeah.
How did you become to that motto?
Yeah, I've always been a risk taker. I was always one to try something new. Why would I not? I get so many opportunities to speak around the world. My husband's a wine, food, and travel writer, so I've had the beautiful opportunity to try foods and wines that most people don't ever get to experience, and I always say, yes, I want to try that. Because to me, it gets you out of your comfort zone, and he always says, even if you don't travel around the world to try something new, travel around the block to try something new. You don't have to be a world traveler just to say yes to opportunities and experiences. And to me, that's what gives us a full life. And I see so many people who say things to me like, oh, I wish I could do that, or I'd like to go do that, or then go do it. We have an opportunity, like I said, every single moment to make a different choice and to create that life that we want. I want everybody to have a fantastic life, and everybody has a different definition of what fantastic life is for them, but we create that no matter what it is. We have the ability to go do that. So go for it. Try something out of your comfort zone. Try something new, whether it's a different way to work that day, or a different restaurant, or a different booth in that restaurant, or no mayonnaise instead of all mayonnaise. Try something different, because that expands our consciousness. That makes us a fuller person. And to me, that's really what health is about, is not just an absence of disease, but a thriving and really a living in this existence right now.
I totally agree with you, because I've been sick for a long time, and I know that with healing, with acupuncture, meditating, and all of that, it helps me tremendously every time I go to that. And massage as well, because you started this way back when you were about 7 years old. That's when you realized that this was your calling.
Yeah, it was. I had a parallel calling, which is interesting because I wanted to be an actor. And so here I am on camera again, doing the sort of acting thing. But yeah, there was always this parallel existence between performing and the healing work. And I started doing massage as a little kid. I didn't set out to. It was just something that I naturally gravitated towards. Even as a little kid, my dad would we'd drive from Pittsburgh to Virginia Beach every year, and I'd sit behind him and I'd rub his neck so he didn't get headaches in the car. And in high school, people would plop down in front of me in drama club and go, can you just rub this one spot? I'm like, okay. So I was good. I liked it. It was a good thing for me to do, and that became the start of my healing career. And again, completely unplanned. I had told someone the other day, I think I just followed the breadcrumbs and went, hey, look at that. To me, it's been this probably divinely planned, but completely unknown to me of where I was going to end up doing all this. So I see the perfect combination of the performing and the healing, and what I do with doing the public speaking and coming on shows and educating people, and it's a blast. I love doing it.
But see, a lot of people don't know that you got 3 books right now. 5. Pardon me, 5. 3 that I have read. I'm missing 2, so
yeah,
my apologies. I will read the other 2, and then I'll bring her back so we can talk some more about that. But a lot of people don't know that you were bullied when you were young. Tell us a little bit about that and how you came out of that.
Yeah, that's actually a surprise to a lot of people, because everyone tells me now, I'm so personable and I'm so fun and funny, and people can't imagine me as being an awkward, uncomfortable kid. The problem is I was like this at 10. So you can imagine how I didn't quite fit in with kids my own age. I don't think I knew how to relate to them. I had a very different sense of humor. I think part of it was I was an only child, so I was raised much older than I was. I would rather have a conversation with the teachers and the janitor than kids my own age. And I think I was just a weird kid, which I can look back now and acknowledge. But yeah, the bullying started, probably way back in 5th or 6th grade. There was one particular girl that just had it in for me. And then it moved into junior high, and finally till I think it was 9th grade, I had a girl actually try to beat me up after school for what I deemed to be no good reason. I mean, I probably could have taken her out had I wanted to fight, but I didn't see the reason for it. I didn't understand how 2 weeks ago you were my friend and now you're throwing my books down the hill and threatening to beat me up every day. I just couldn't comprehend that. And so it was really hard. And it was not until I found theater in my sophomore year of high school where I went, oh, here's where the other uncomfortable people are. Great, let's do improv. It really saved me. It gave me an identity when I think I really struggled with trying to find one. But the good thing to me that came out of the bullying, and I know it's so huge now, and I talk to so many parents whose kids are dealing with this, it's a temporary thing. You get out of school and it stops, or you get with a different set of friends and it stops. It's not this permanent thing. And when you're a kid, I think we forget that things do end, and then you move into different phases of life. So it's important to remember while you're in it, it's awful, but you will move through that into something else. And now I look back at that and I kind of say, thank you. It was a good thing to me because it really made me figure out who I was. I had to decide, okay, do I want to fit in and conform and be liked, or is this me and I just have to be me? And I kind of embrace the craziness now. I wear what I want to wear and I don't care what people think, and I'm me. And I think I had to make that decision because of the bullying. And it made me stronger.
But that's fantastic, because you also have a quote that has been yours forever. It's, got it.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
I mean,
you have to.
3 simple words.
Yeah. 3 teeny simple words, and that's how I live my life. And like I said, I say yes to things. And people, I have opportunities to do speaking all over the world. I just came back from a safari, which you and I know we're going to talk about. And people are like, oh, you're so lucky. And it's like, no, it's not luck. I create those things. And then when the opportunities do come up, I say yes. I say go for it. And, I don't really believe in a bucket list. I think people write things down, put it in a drawer and forget about it till they're 80 and then go, oh, I guess I'm not getting to Spain. It's like, live it now if you can. If it's something you can do now, what are you waiting for? There is no guarantee of a tomorrow for any of us. And not to be morbid, but I mean, let's face it, there is no guarantee that we're going to have a tomorrow. So
a lot of people will wait until, like myself, when I found myself almost in deathbed, and then I'm like, oh, I haven't done this. And that's when I got to travel most of the world and stuff. And I'm like, in the worst way, you are sick and you're trapped. But I did it. I went for it, like you said. But you also said that it can enhance your spiritual, mental, and physical health doing that. Explain that a little bit.
Because I think, and I touched on this a little bit, so many people live such a limited life. They don't know they have choices. They don't know they have options. They do the same thing every day, and they wonder why things don't get better or things don't get different. And, I see a lot of clients every day because I still do massage every day and hypnotherapy. I see a lot of clients in pain, and I say to them, oh, well, are you stretching? No. Are you exercising? No. Are you trying ice? No. Okay, but then what do you expect to change? So it's very easy to put our sleeves over our hands and go, I don't like this. Okay, but then what are you going to change? And I don't care what your situation is. I don't care what the excuse is, whether it's chronic disease or cancer or you're tired or you just wake up feeling meh, which we all do. You have the ability to make a different choice. There is no excuse, even if it's changing your attitude. We can't control our external circumstances. We can control what we're thinking about. So make a different choice. Think something, smile. Look at kitty pictures on the internet. Go watch a funny movie. My husband and I watched The Great Race last night and just laughed. It's such a fun movie.
Nice.
Why not just kick back and laugh and have a good time? We always have the choice to do that.
Well, it sounds like that's a great way, but to get people to get to that point, I think that's the challenging part.
Yeah.
Because most of us will not go for it.
Right.
We know that we have the guts to go for it, but there's the fear that takes over. And in this book, you have a whole list of things that will prevent us from doing all of that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really our own limiting beliefs. I mean, that really comes down to that. I was thinking about it in the car on the way down. If somebody said, I was listening to a lecture where they were talking about, the light overcomes the darkness. And if we radiate our own light out, the darkness can't exist. Meaning from a very esoteric perspective of, basically good versus evil sort of thing. And I'm thinking, but I know so many people who will huddle in the dark and say, I'm cold and it's dark. And I say, well, here's a torch, light it. And they go, but what if I get burned? And it's so much more comforting for a lot of people to sit in the dark because the dark's familiar. it's scary to turn that light on and see what's actually around you. And I encourage you, even just take a little match, just light it for a second and just see what that looks like. Because really, we're the only ones that can do this. You know, I can't change my husband, I can't change my father, I can't change my clients, I can't change you, I can't, it is up to you individually. And no one cares about ourselves more than ourselves. So we have to make that change. We have to take that step and really look at it and say, is there secondary gain from this? What am I getting from staying in the dark? What am I getting from staying in pain, staying stuck, is that your identity? Do you want it to be an anecdote of, oh, my mom passed away when I was a kid, or am I still living in that of, oh my God, I was abandoned as a child and it was horrible? I could very easily make that my identity. I'm not interested in that. I want people to learn from what I've experienced and turn it into something positive. I've had a couple trapeze accidents. One that could have been really bad. I was out for 7 months and I really ripped myself up pretty good.
Wow.
I don't want to be known for falling down. I want to be known for getting back up and getting back on that trapeze and doing it again. And that's the way I live, and that's what I encourage people to do. Little steps, baby steps, but we have to take those steps.
By the way, she does trapeze. She does the scuba diving. She does all these fun things that we all probably wanted to do it, but we have the fear in conquering that. So, but let's show a little bit of your last trip, because there's some pictures there of scuba diving, but we're gonna start with the safari.
Okay.
Because I know in the safari you had some great pictures.
Oh yeah.
Some of them they made you cry.
Yeah.
So as we're going, we show them. You can tell us a little bit about them.
Yeah, I decided to do a scuba trip. So outside of Cape Town, there's a little bayside town called Simonstown, and that's where the jackass penguins are. And I arranged for a dive trip because I thought, I want to see what the water's like over here. I want to experience that. So yeah, we did just one quick shore dive. We were out for maybe 40 minutes. It was really clear. It was warmer water than I expected, which was great because there's nothing worse than scuba diving in ice cold freezing water. But yeah, we saw fish. I didn't see any sharks. I was kind of disappointed and kind of relieved at the same time because there's a lot of great whites in South Africa. So I was happy not to come face to face with one of those. But it's always so interesting to get under the water, and it's a whole different world, and it's quiet and it's beautiful, and the colors are spectacular. There's a picture I think coming up of all these different sea urchins and these anemone and the starfish, and it's a whole different experience being under there and being in the quiet, and just there they are. I mean, they were beautiful. I had our first dive trip, my husband and I, when we learned to dive, I fell on an urchin. I let the air out of my BC too quickly, and I slammed down on an urchin, and all the spines went in my knee.
Oh,
so I saw that whole sea of urchin. I went, oh no, don't fall on the urchins. Yeah, that was the bay. That was it was gorgeous. Yeah, that was outside of Cape Town. Beautiful. It was such a gorgeous day. I did a lot of wine tasting.
That's what I was going to say. This is your wine tasting crew.
So I did 8 wineries personally. We did 5 that day. That was the view from one of the wineries. Cape Town was truly one of the most amazing places I've ever been. It was gorgeous. I will absolutely go back. We went to a champagne, well, we can't call it champagne, sparkling, which is where those pictures were taken.
There you are.
Yeah. And then I'm a member of the Magic Castle here in Hollywood. And because of that, I was allowed to go to the Cape Town Club. And it happened to be Magic Monday. So I got to see some magic in Cape Town, too.
And then you are, like we said earlier, a very major public speaker. So this is one invitation that you were at.
That's how I got to Cape Town. I actually keynoted this really big conference. I was their closing keynote, and they were not kind enough to bring me to South Africa and take me on the safari. And I talked about stress, which is what I think I spoke about on the show last time. So yeah, it was really an amazing experience. That was another one of my talks there in Indianapolis. Oh yeah. I go to hypnotherapy conferences every year, and we have a slumber party. And so that was my Wonder Woman PJs.
And then we have some pictures of your trapeze. Unfortunately, we don't have a clip, but I will add a clip into this.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah, I love to bring newcomers. So those 2 friends had never been on a trapeze before. So it was their first class. I went to see Penn and Teller the last time I was in Vegas because I love magic, and I got to go on stage and examine their props. So that was me coming out of the magic box.
I mean, that's so excited to do though.
Mm-hmm. Well, and again, it's saying yes to things. You know, they made an announcement. Who wants to come on stage and look at these props? Why would I not do that? You know, so.
Plus, you've been around, and then you were also a speaker for the alternative medicine cabinet in Santa Barbara.
Yeah, this was an accounting conference actually, and they let you pick all the little labels for your thing. And Troublemaker was perfect for me, so I stole that one pretty quick.
I was gonna say, did they give you that name, or did you pick that?
No, I picked that one. They didn't know me quite well enough to understand that I was a troublemaker. I went to Rome and Greece this year also.
And yeah, so I was gonna ask you with this, since
Yes.
it was the Olympic place, and the Olympics just happened and stuff. So, and the big scandal with Luckily now and Dancing with the Stars. What do you think? What would you tell him? Because I saw him, and he said that it really hurt him when he saw his mom cry.
Yeah.
But he should have thought about all of this before he did what he did.
Right. You know, it's horrible because people make choices, and there's fallout to those choices. There's ramifications to those choices. And he made a poor choice. He got intoxicated and he went and did something stupid. And that's not even the worst thing. He then lied about it, which was even worse. And as we're learning through our politics too, if you make a mistake, just go, I screwed up. Trying to cover it up, trying to make up tales, you know, it didn't look good. But I was really stunned. I mean, I watch Dancing with the Stars every season. My hope is to actually be on Dancing with the Stars one day. That's my ultimate goal. I want to be on Dancing with the Stars so bad.
Tell him right there.
I want to be on Dancing with the Stars, and I'd like to dance with Derek. I'm just throwing that out there. They're all
Derek,
great, but
call me Derek.
Oh, seriously. I've been dancing for so long, and it would just be a dream come true. Anyway, I'll get there. But you know, it's a good show, and it's a family show, and I have never seen, with all the controversial people they've had on, I have never seen people behave that way. And I think this is a testament to what's happening in our politics right now. You're allowed to mouth off and be a jerk if you feel like it. That's become totally okay to do.
Right.
People have been given permission to be racist, be an ass. Can we say ass? Yeah, they've been given permission to be an ass. And I think that's really unfortunate because I can't and looking at, you know, Carrie Ann's face and the host, I mean, it was really
Everybody
scary.
was in shock, yeah.
Well, and also it's really scary. When someone rushes the stage, you don't know if they snuck in a weapon, you don't know if they're going to tackle you, if they have you don't know what's going to happen. So that was actually really scary, and I could tell by looking at everybody's face that there really was a lot of tension on the set, which is a shame. The fact that he got voted off, you know, I'm not surprised because let's face it is sort of a popularity contest.
Right.
You know, he was holding his own as a dancer. I would have liked to see what he could have done more of, but I think between that first episode and what he did, and it's so soon. It's so soon after it. Put him on next season when everyone sort of forgot.
Right.
It was a really specific choice to put him on the show.
The hatred for him was there.
But it was also, I think, a little exaggerated. Was it really that bad? You know, looking at what our athletes do sometimes, was this the worst thing that could have happened? You know, I think it was bad timing, and I think people have been given permission to misbehave, and I think that's just a shame because that shouldn't be happening.
But me, as a professional player, I knew that I couldn't do those kind of things.
Right.
I knew that I couldn't go out to a bar and act stupid because the next day the whole team will find out, and it wasn't just the team that was suffering; it was the whole part of nation or whoever team I was representing at that time.
Course.
And he was really representing the United States, which makes it a little bit more, you know, difficult because now we're also giving people from other places, like now they're having the, I shouldn't say the handicap, the disabled Olympics down there right now, and people are targeting because of this, which is pretty sad. I read that it gave the police of Brazil like an open thing to stop any American and say stop to Americans, which, you know, we don't look at the grander stage when you do that. And
well, of course. Well, but people don't even look at the what the fallout's going to be on themselves.
Right.
There's not a lot of personal responsibility, and unfortunately, I'm seeing that grow. You know, somebody else runs a stop sign and you go beep and they flip you off, and it's like, okay, I'm just pointing out that you almost killed me. But people don't want to hear that. They don't want to be called on their actions. They don't want to take, not everybody, of course, but a lot of people don't want to take personal responsibility for what's going on. They would rather just put their hands over their eyes and go, I didn't do it, it's not going to happen. And what confuses me is everybody's got a camera, everybody's got a video camera, news media goes like this. how do you think people are going to find out about this stuff? You know, this is not the 50s where no one would ever find. I mean, it's impossible to hide anything anymore, and I think that's good. I think we need that transparency. But then you really have to think about what you're doing. And just because you're a professional athlete doesn't mean you can get away with all this stuff with no ramification. You're not a superhero.
It puts people like you and myself in a different kind of light because there's that extra pressure.
Yeah.
That I can't go somewhere without my husband because they go say, hey,
right,
we saw him over there.
Right, exactly.
Right?
And I've been to business functions where I've seen people overindulge, where they're acting silly, they're acting stupid, they're acting drunk, and it's like, to me, if I'm at a professional function, other than the slumber party, because I'm walking around in pajamas, it's kind of hard to stay professional walking around in pajamas, but you know, it's like I am presenting a professional face. I am not going to go into someone else's home, i.e. their conference, their party, their whatever, and act like a jerk. It's not going to happen because I have a consciousness about that. Did I do that when I was 20? Probably. You know, it's like I wasn't as aware as I am now of maintaining that professional persona, but we have to. And I think this was a good lesson that everybody needs to look at what he did and go, ooh, maybe I'll think twice before I get drunk, do something stupid, and lie about it.
Because it makes me look at it and I say, well, wow.
Yeah.
You know, that could easily be us in a matter of a second. You're in the wrong place, they take the wrong picture, and your whole career will be over in a matter of seconds. It don't matter how hard you have worked and how long you've been doing this. It only takes that little bad thing too. But let's get back to some of your pictures so we can finish because we got a few minutes left. Oh my God, this has fly.
Yeah. Oh, it has, absolutely. So I was in Rome to do a talk, and I went to Greece also, which was a dream come true. And now we're back on the safari. So this was the group that was on the safari with me. Oh, we switched to Egypt. I went to Egypt last year, which was a dream come true.
And then we go back to
the safari. Oh, this lion.
Is he the one that made you cry?
Oh, they all did. It was just so exciting to see that in the cheetah. The cheetah really got me. I've been a fan of cheetahs since I was a little kid, so to see the cheetah and the lions, the big cats just really do it for me.
I mean, they're fantastic pictures.
Yeah. The elephants were gorgeous and huge, and we had an elephant charge our car, which was very exciting. We had a rhino charge our car, which was very exciting. Yeah, I was a little scary. I'm like, that's a big creature, and it's coming right at us. But yeah, you know, if you get the chance going to South Africa or anywhere, you know, Kenya or anywhere in Africa that has the safaris and seeing these beautiful animals in person, it was really, really a special thing. Oh, my favorite picture's coming up. Oh, it's a poster. I mean, it's just, they were such sweet animals. And
I love that because you only see that like in movies and stuff, and you don't think it's real. And then you come back with a picture like that, and I was like, wow, it's so beautiful.
It was an amazing opportunity.
But fantastic. So we got about 50 seconds left. So tell us where they can find your book.
Yeah, absolutely. The best place is my website, which is thealternativemedicinecabinet.com. You can get all my books there. You can sign up for my newsletter, ask me questions. I have a massage DVD also, and there's a lot of free resources there as well. Again, it's thealternativemedicinecabinet.com. Of course, they're available on Amazon. My book, Conquer Your Stress, was just republished by a big publisher, so that'll be available in bookstores around the country, around the world, which I'm really excited about. And I'll see you guys soon on Dancing with the Stars, I hope.
I hope so too. And you got to come back because I didn't tell you, but she is going on trips. She got invited to India and where else?
London.
And London. So she's going to be doing some public speaking over there. Meanwhile, you guys come back next week, same time, same channel, probably not the same people. Hasta luego. See you later, guys.
Bye.
Good night.